Howdy, howdy, ho, everyone. My name is CL, and I do have my webcam set up, as you can see, my face, and I have that on for a reason. I have a little story, I guess. I mean, it's less of a story and more of a follow up. Around a few weeks ago, when I was playing the first Uncharted game, in the middle of recording, got a message from a YouTuber that I follow. It was very surreal. A message that said, "Hey, it's Sal from Comic Pub. The YouTube channel that I'm talking about is this channel called Comic Pop that I've been following for a few years, and I really enjoy the content. I'll talk about that a little later, I guess. But it was just like, hey, it's me, Sal, the guy from Comic Pop. I just wanted to know, like, what are your favorite Mad Fraction comic books? They asked me this question. It was really weird. But like I didn't know, so I replied not knowing exactly what it was. After I finished streaming that day, I replied to it and I gave a bunch of information. But essentially, and I talked about that in the Uncharted 1 stream, I thought that it might have something to do with a comment that I left in one of their videos. Essentially, in the last month or two or so, I've been literally every time I watch a YouTube video, I comment on it just because I think, you see those guys who like are known for commenting on a lot of YouTube videos. So I thought, well, I should do that because I never comment on anything. I should do that because I think that's really funny. So I've been commenting on essentially every single YouTube video I watch. So essentially, they made a video. This comic pop person made a video about Hawkeye, the Mad Fraction run from around 2011, 2012, I think 2012. So I made this comment essentially detailing a story that happened to me when I was around 14, I believe. A few years back when I was a few years back, like a decade ago at this point, when I was really into comic book, and there was this one that's a bit far off, but at the time it was one of the closest, well, not one of the closest, one of the better, more established shops that saw a lot of things. Another things they did there was they did a lot of signings. And this, I actually got let me see if I can grab it. There it is. I actually got a comic, Forever Evil, by Jeffrey Jonathan, Jeff Johns, who's a pretty big deal when it comes to comic books. He's also been an advisor on quite a bit of the movies, so like is an important person. Look at this, Forever Evil. And I only read the first issue. The only reason I got this was because I just happened to be there the day that the signing was happening, and I didn't know the signing was happening. And I was there a few hours early, and I saw the sign. Oh wow, Jeff John's gonna be here. I didn't bring any comic books, so I just bought the latest comic book that they had of him. There's one time that we're gonna have a signing by Mad Fraction, who's a comic book writer, pretty well known. He's written a lot of good stuff, and his Hawkeye run that was coming out at the time was like a pretty big deal to me. But essentially, I found out there was going to be a signing, and I asked my sister. At the time, I was only living with my mother, and my sister wasn't living with me, but my mother wasn't able to give me a ride. So I asked my sister, hey, could you give me a ride there on this specific day? The signing starts at 3, and it's going to end like at 5. Short signing, blah, blah, blah. And my sister said, yeah, sure. And I was like, good. And the day came around that she was supposed to pick me up, and she didn't pick me up at all, like throughout the entire day. And I was a pretty shy kid, and I never wanted to be trouble. So instead of saying anything, I was just like, I guess my sister forgot. It's not a big deal, whatever. But 5 came around when the signing was actually supposed to end. She came and picked me up. She was like, oh, hey, I'm outside. And I was like, what? I didn't say anything. But in my mind, I was like, oh, I think that when she read the message, she probably read it really fast, and she must have misunderstood and thought that the signing actually started at 5. So she came and picked me up, and me being me, I didn't say anything. She dropped me off there, and there was a huge line. The signing was over, essentially, but like with these signings, usually they stay around like 2-3 hours more than they're supposed to. They say it's not going to be a short event, but it never is. But I was all the way in the back of the line, so I kind of knew that I wasn't gonna get signed, like a comic book sign, which was upsetting and stuff. And it was kind of like, it was just sad. It was just a sad time. I was there for 2 to 3 hours, just kind of sitting there, like talking to this guy in front of me who was way older than me. I was like 14, 13, whatever. And this other guy who was like maybe in his 20s. So I was like trying to have a conversation, blah, 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 blah. But it didn't matter too much. Essentially, it ended. One of the workers came and was like, hey, you people at the back of the line, you're probably not gonna get your comic signed. So I after 2 hours, I just texted my sister, hey, could you come pick me up? Because to a certain extent, I didn't want to be a bother, and to another extent, I was like holding out hope that maybe I would get a comic book sign. So she came and picked me up, and when she picked me up, she said, oh, I'm sorry, I realized now that like I looked at the messages and it said ended at 5 and blah blah blah, and I didn't make a big deal out of it. And I commented that story on the episode that this YouTuber did about the Mad Fraction Hawkeye run, just to, like, because I thought it'd be a fun comment, like cool comment, fun story. Look at that. And when I look back at that time, it's not like anything signed that made me upset. It's like putting myself back into that person that I used to be. Like the really timid. Like I would let things like this happen to me, and like blah 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 blah. I'm not here to vent, but when I put myself back into that position, it makes me feel sad. Essentially, that was the comment that I left. So when this comic book YouTuber messaged me on Twitter, I was like, this is kind of sus. Is this about that? But they didn't say that it was about that, and I didn't want to make assumptions. So I just replied to their question about like what my favorite Mad Fraction comics are with a bit of a long message about like all the Mad Fraction comics I've read, the ones that I've sort of read, blah blah blah, which ones I liked. Very detailed. I talk a lot, so it was a very detailed comment. And then they replied with, "Oh, I'm asking because the Hawkeye show just came out, the Hawkeye Disney Plus show, which takes a lot of influence from the Mad Fraction Hawkeye run, blah 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 blah." And I just been wanting to get like thoughts about it. Didn't want to make any assumptions, but if you remember, Sao and Jin, if you're here, back when I first got the message during my Uncharted 1 stream, I was like, this is a little sus. A little sussy, Essentially, a few weeks later, they got back to me again, and very sus, a little sussy. They got back to me again. We had another short conversation about the Hawkeye TV show, and they told me, "Hey, we want to send you a sticker, and and we were wondering if you would like to share your address." And these people live, I believe, somewhere around the New York area, completely on the other side of the world. I was fine with giving me my address. What are they gonna do? Come down here, pick me up? Like a million bajillion miles. So I gave them my address, and they were like, "Oh, we'll stay in touch for a conversation about the Hawkeye run, blah 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 blah." Anyhow, like around 2 days ago, I got the sticker. This is one of the thickest stickers I've ever top 10 thickest stickers I've ever seen. So the thing about this package, it was it had my address on it, but it didn't have my name because the YouTuber that I'm talking about didn't specifically ask for my name, so it had their name on it, Sal from Comic Book. They also had a last name there that I had never seen before, but whatever. And technically, if I open this, because it's not, it's not by my name, I am technically committing a federal offense if I do open this package. So let's commit a federal offense. And another thing about this package is is that the sender wasn't Sal. It was it said that it came from Mad Fraction. That's kind of sus. Mad Fraction, what are you doing sending me a sticker? It's hefty. It's kind of sus. It's kind of a little sussy, So I have a knife here. So let's open it. Let's do a little let's commit some federal crimes, Let's go to jail for like 10, 20 years. This is all a setup. Sal from Comic Pop is setting me up to commit a federal offense. They're gonna call the police on me right after this. I'm gonna get arrested. This stream, I'm getting arrested. It feels like a book, but I'm not sure. I'm not looking too much into it. Let's just open. Let's open the thing. Oh my god, that is a lot of stuff in there. I can already see that it's comic books. That it's the comics. A lot of comics, a lot of bad comics. A lot of bad comics. Oh, and a book, and like a full book here. Wow, that's cool. Christmas. Top 10 coolest stickers I've ever seen. Let's start off with this. This is, I can already tell, this is the saga of Barton and Bishop, the Mad Fraction run. I believe this is yeah, this is the original 2012 run here. Oh, and it has oh, that's so cool. She. Oh my god, this is like the nicest thing anyone's ever done to me. So this is Hawkeye with this cover. I believe this is one of the later reprints of this. And it says it says for CL, and there's a little signature down here. There's a little sign. I get a whole book. That's sick. I didn't own this, so that's really cool. Oh, I don't even know how to react to this. This is like a lot, and there's like a heck of a lot of comic books in here. There's a board. Oh, there's a letter. Oh, that's so. Oh no! Should I read this out loud? I don't know how to react to this. This is a lot. This is a lot. Feelings. I'm having feelings. I'm gonna read this out loud. I've skimmed it. I don't think there's anything here. So it says, "Hi ZL. So apparently, once upon a time, we were supposed to meet at a signing, and it didn't work out. I'm sorry about that. But have this random smattering of Hawkeye I had kicking around will help make up for that a little bit. This includes, it's kind of, the handwriting is kind of hard for me to read. I mean, it's actually kind of nice handwriting, but it's like a marker, so, you know, there's a few letters there and there that I've not picked. I had a kicking around will help make up for that a little bit. This includes the worst copy of C ever? Of 21. I believe issue 21 is what that means. I'm sorry there's no 4 or 5, hopefully having them in the new collection will be good enough. A substitute. I bet that this doesn't make it to you for Christmas, but maybe by New Year's. Here's to your 2021 something. Oh my god, this is like half cursive. Why am I like this? I can't read this stuff. Thanks. And then there's a nice signature. It says Mad Fraction. I swear. And then it says P.S. Sal says hi. Oh wow, this is a lot. This is a lot. Okay, let's look at these. The reason that it said that there was no 4 or 5 is because in my original message to Sal, I specifically said that like issue 4 and 5, I believe, there was this storyline about a tape that I remember very fondly, and I think about it quite a lot. And I said those were my favorite. It's not a big deal. It really isn't a big deal that those aren't in here. This is cool as this is very cool. So let me just grab all these bad boys out. These nice bad boys. Oh, they all say, oh, that's so cool. So they all say 4CL on them, and they're all signed. That's so cool. God, that's so cool. Okay, so here's the issue 1. I actually do own this. I own most of these. I collected this entire run back then when I was really, really into comics. You know, here's in issue 6 from the Marvel Now era when they started putting these like really ugly. They're not that ugly. They're not that annoying, but they started putting these red things on every single issue, and it was kind of like annoying. But these covers are like really, really cool, and they're just like really creative, and I really like them. I used to have some of these hanged up. So cool. Oh yeah, I remember this one. This one's really cool. The nice red that mixes with the red on the bottom, so like it actually looks really nice and fleshed out. Isn't that so cool? I completely like. If I don't think Sao and I know Sao and Jin haven't read any comics ever, but I do recommend these partially. Like I was a really big fan of these at the time. At the time that I was reading these when they were coming out in like 2012, this was at my prime comic book time, like when I was really into comic books. So like these kind of like embody like that time in my life, you know? It's just really cool stuff. Here's the dog, Lucky, from the show. They're in the show. You remember that? I forced you to watch it. I remember this one as well. Oh, they also have my name. That's so cool. My name! It's my name! Here's a little, like, TV head thing. I actually don't remember this at all. I don't remember this cover at all, but what issue is this, 17? I was definitely still collecting them at this time. Here's 18. Still very cool. Hey, guys, watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Be sure to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Definitely a very important show that sure is great. I'm not crapping on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yes, I am. I am crapping on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Here's the number 21. I believe this is why they said that is the worst copy. It actually isn't that bad. There's just a little crooked, you know? The spine's a little messy. But it's not a big deal. Who cares? Comic books, collectibles. Comic books aren't worth money. We all know that. And then there's the number 22 here. I believe this was the last one in the run. And it tells you to watch Ant-Man on theater July 17. Be sure to do that. Don't forget. That is so cool. Oh god, so many I haven't held actual floppy comic books in like years. I haven't really gone to a I mean, I still collect like paperbacks and hardcovers and whatnot. And then I'll read them every once in a while, but I don't really go to comic book stores and pick up the floppies anymore. But this is really cool. There's so many. Like, I don't even know which one. I'm probably gonna hang some of these up, or probably put them up in one of my shelves. I think that would look pretty nice. I don't know. I don't even know how to react to this at this point. This letter specifically is very cool. I'm probably gonna store most of these. Well, probably grab the one with my favorite cover and put it up in one of my shelves. Make a stand. Look really nice. Post it on Twitter. I don't know. Follow me on Twitter. But this is very cool. This is just so cool. I don't even know how to react to any of this. I'm not used to, like, this is just such a weird set of circumstances, you know? I'm thankful. Thank you very much to both Sal from Comic Pop and Matt Fraction, of course. I don't know if Matt Fraction is open for letters, but I might send something back, you know, just as a thank you, because that's just really nice, you know? But yeah, I don't know. Stuff. I don't know how to react. I don't know what to say anymore. Essentially, read comic books. You should read Mad Fraction comic books specifically. You should go to your local comic book stores, if there is a local comic book store, since those are dying constantly, and pick up a trade paperback. Pick up a good Mad Fraction comic book. I don't even know what they're doing. I would check on my phone what their latest comic book is, but I am using my phone as my webcam right now. So that's not gonna work out. Oh, and also, I'm stumbling on my words because I'm so like high on dopamine right now. But Sal, thank you so much, Sal, from Comic Book. This is like one of those kindest things anyone's ever done to me. Specifically, like a complete stranger, you know? It's a lot. But Cactus and Sal and anyone else who's watching this, you should go to Comic Pop, youtube.com/Comic Pop. Subscribe to Comic Pop. They're a really great YouTube channel. They do a lot of different kind of things, but specifically they're well known for this series called Back Issues, where they essentially will take a comic book from any time and they'll explain it to their friends who have never really read a comic book. Blah blah blah. It's really good stuff. But my favorite ones are the ones where they don't specifically talk about the stories, but they talk about the stuff surrounding them. They did a Back Issues on Spawn, and it wasn't about Spawn the actual comic. It was about Spawn as a giant in the 90s, and like how big it got and how it got so big, and like what came of that, and blah 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 blah. I'm losing words. It's kind of hard for me to talk. I should have gotten some water, but it was one of my favorite episodes of Back Issues. Any episode, like any Ultimate Spider-Man that they've done, any Multiverse of Darkness, something like that. Any of those are really good, and specifically any of the ones where they talk a lot about the history surrounding the book and not just the book themselves. The Spawn one. What's the comic book series? Oh boy, it's the one about. I believe it's also like it was a 90s. It had an MTV show. It was called The Max. The Max? Is it The Max? They did a one about The Max. And also, of course, check out their episode on Hawkeye. But yeah, thank you so much. I might, since I'm probably gonna get back to them and thank them on Twitter after this, I might just clip this and send this to them. But I am rambling. It is very rambling. It's kind of late and I didn't get a lot of sleep. But it's also like I'm just so high on the wholesome energy that I don't know how to react to it. But yeah. Thank you so much. This is really nice. Thank you very much.